Yeda Onyankopon ase. Yetoa ensemo last week ye kan ye no eso. Obonefo emraton kasa ewo na koma mu. Nyankopon suro bia eni na ni so. Na obu ne ho ebi ono a eni so. Efise won chen na enkwa ensutire wo. Wo han mu ena yehunu han. That is the verse I want everybody to put on their heart. In your light, we see the light. So when we are talking about stop spreading humanism and secularism in our schools, and then part 2, then we are saying that in God's light, we see the light. And yet, when people begin to think that you can push God aside, when people study science and technology and go on and they are developing all kinds of things, they think that they have known everything. And Safo Peters is sending me a message. He's been following these kinds of things now, or emphasize something which I've already said, that science is not creating anything, it's discovery. Intima ye senior ebinomo and go to our school system and begin to create the impression that you don't need God, you don't need religion in any way, and you can do critical thinking, you can create, you can do this, and so on. Sorry, that is the message we are sending across. Because here they are Psalm 36, verse 9. In your light, we see the light. So the mekano no. We want to look at sa enyemaya yehia dudu nyina mumpo no esan epiepie se be na otwemiense ne na yete se excellence publication ngoma bi a wotwero ye for P4 for history book no amachro ne fa ba bi a o se negative effects of Christian missionary activities na what the total there emre bi nso ba publication bi mu nkwara ngoma a yesua no school and also say comprehensive human sexual education kase homosexuality LGBTQ ne nyina eka human sexuality ho a say yagitumu a then for me it's not adebi say yebu ye ne eguso. Humanism and secularism agenda. Are we following a humanism and secularism agenda? And what is humanism? Humanism no na Bible I kind of Psalm 36 no. Say Nyankopon suro bia eni ebinom ani so. Na omubu omu hu bi ono ani so. So when you get a scientist or somebody why niema koyi na adwene ye say eye nyamsom ankrofo gidi enti na emo enko. We look at some of the negative niema bia emoa ewo ye niema ye ho. But the point is humanism rejects any idea of God. Now I know you share definition, no. They are highlighting in red, when you share television. Say, humanism is a progressive philosophy of life that without theism, that is the idea that God exists or supernatural beliefs, it affirms our ability and responsibility to lead ethical lives of personal fulfillment that aspire the greater good. Yehia ene ibiase nyame bi wo ho ebetimi asolve the problem amene nyina aye kama. That is humanism, lifting the human being creature above the creator. So you come to the point where you say there is no creator. That is what happened in the Garden of Eden, Genesis chapter 3, where Obonsam ekwe no ka kire Eve ne ayise Nyankopon no anim se da mo bedi bie no mo ani ebebie na mo beye se ono no wono ka kire oba ne se enye wuo na mo bewuo na Nyankopon nim se da mo bedi bie no mo ani bebue na mo aye se Onyankopon ehunu papa ene bone. So humanism projects the human being to say that the creature can be as equal or even wiser than the creator. And maybe humanism now says there is no creator. Secularism so can't a chrono. I say, Mufa school se mo chire kwara dia. Don't bring in a debe enyam sem kura, and gradually it's going on. And person me hunu the way ye school system no efiri edebe Christosomu ena ababeduru baabi a edro no de asantefo asem a ye ka se wunyima ya ense midin. We must realize that. In other words, if you will not praise me or appreciate what I have done for you, don't malign me. Don't go around telling that I am bad. Na memo hunu ne se senye Christosom ena dingu mesua eba ya. I don't know where Ghana would have been. So secularism is a belief system that rejects religion, or the belief that religion should not be a part of the affairs of the state or part of public education. Ayurahusem ne say that is the trend ekoso kakra ewo ye man me meka atudwa pi say enano de eba saa enwoma no mu naka say omonde omonye responsible na ponso eba be pa che no. That is not it. I refuse to accept that naka, which is the body say and prepare syllabus ema ye nkwada eko school free say KG kopim secondary school no will come out and say that ye dey prepare syllabus no and will be eba beji and wo kwotwere onoma and wa print enti ye nim ho hwe. How can you say that? Last week me kind, why did excellent publications choose to insert such material into a primary 4 book when such content had not been approved by NACA? Why would excellence publication do that? What were they hoping to achieve by portraying Christianity as a cause of the poverty and underdevelopment of Ghana and Africa? What were they hoping to achieve? Why were they attempting to paint a negative picture of religion for these young minds? I don't think so. NACA say ye syllabus no menyini so mo pa kan say yemfa yema wonfa copy mama kire ema ye hunu say de kan ye no na waye. So they want to wash their hands like Pontius Pilate did. But me naka for me mama attend asien say mo ohoro mo nsa enye ye, cause Pontius Pilate ohoro nsa but there be a Christopher kwasori a ye boni dini say onu na wotumi a oma yekum ye ebo Yesu asenuem. But for as knowing that said that we cannot accept the NACA excuse for the buyer cancer yenchire nkwara no edebe homosexuality, comprehensive sexual education, they say we don't have anything to do with it. Now the next one comes criticize and say Christianity near the adinama edu here, but they say we have nothing to do with it. No, we cannot accept that. So the Ministry of Education, which NACA is under, muna sanse ma America me pese mutie na mutie ne ye. For me, enema ekoso no a smoke of something. Should we follow the pattern of the West? Europe, some countries in Europe and America, no, the ekoswe. That's how it started. And a lot of the Christians in America are sorry and saying, why did we sit down and remain quiet for these things to happen? Because in American school, no, not Sana Satio, it's a country that says in God we trust, and it is still written on their currency, dollar, no, the actual was no. Nyame ene yejinidi. And yet in their constitution now, there is you cannot say prayers ewo school mo, public school mo. You cannot read the Bible ewo public school mo. And so omaya ede Christosom ananyam som shase ema wo mutimi ko wo mo animu abebre no. Now when you go there, some person will buy a then take it to a Christian private school, because one more about to Mr. Baby or more drone. Woman here, Yankupon, and no, Psalm 36 Ekana. Say Yankupon so be any or more a binuma niso. Now, Obune won't be or no one niso. But no question more, verse 9 say. In your light, we see the light. And when you meet some of them who are Christians and are scientists, they believe that even in their success, Owura bi last week me kana sem Professor True Blood ne ngoma awatwero wo Google a wo behunu sa hangman the predicament of modern man. Osei the modern Western civilization is a cut flower. Last week we mentioned it's a cut flower civilization. Adentra because it has cut itself from the Christian root which nurtured it, and so it is withering and on the way to die. Civilization ejina Christosom so na ehunu niema bebre from Europe to America and so on. Afei de ka kire na ho se mo me yenhemra se obia wo kwan se onyinsan a otunyinsan no guo. So it's a law. Ukwa hosesi a Supreme Court to buy a betten around no. Aye asem tare. Lot of the Republicans are saying no. The Democrats say human rights. O baby e wo kwanse onyinsan a otunyinsan no guo. Now they have lost. Bema ne bema timi ware. Professor True Blood say Omani nyina so no, and it is the same thing I asked Antifoye can say asetena pa emma ayurefre. When things go well with you, you forget your beginnings. But I will who some say, yeah, no niema nko yie maye, and yet we are beginning to throw away the kinds of things. So we think that Ghana is a secular state. I don't believe so. Omaya 70%. Wo yes census be 70% plus or minus 1 or 2. I say ni ayede ho ato so ye Christosom no. You cannot say ye the ebu man and it's a secular state. And ne wo ko ye schools mu a public schools mu senior ye me call Presby primary school na me call Methodist middle school, and I thank God for that. Na yama ye schools money are there. Most of the public schools are there's only one day, Wednesday, and I don't come a teacher for be share. No cry sorry yo. Just some discussions. A teacher need no pa. Nobody could no my some discussion. But when I went to Pokua, the headmaster says, for us, we have these things a year course a year chre. So Safo, when people begin to cut away from that which nurtured them, then there is disaster ahead. Me the me say, and yet we seem to be copying what America is doing. Professor True Blood or American or trust our book no. Osei there cannot be any sustainable civilization without a religious basis, even though not all religions lead to civilization. Into me writings in the mono me bisa Christianity, any traditional African religion, emudia ene bie ni penny ema yetimi enyam puntuo ekoso ewo ya abrabom. Na nana mo nsem guo ene kro ne banom ne ade wo de tutu Christosom a de he na ma ye sa afa ahodie no ema yetimi eye de be develop. Why is the West driving away itself from that which nurtured them? And untino and ama ye mubi any abere a ya fasa anema ya ye kan ho asem se wo kotro bibi history mu asem ama ye nkwada nkitu a ye wo P4 wo mo anyini kura na 10 years 9 years 10 years ahia title a wo de ama no ne se negative effects of Christian missionary activities. And I want to ask to quickly go through missionary activities about Ghana. Na dia ben ena womo eba eboaye. I've written here in my notes, yes. The main aim of the section in the history textbook is to condemn Christianity and not Islam or traditional African religion. Because I will throw idea for religion, you don't give it a title, say, negative effects of Christian missionary activities. And then once in a while, you bring in, you generalize it and say religion. Once in a while, you say religion. But the title, I would throw no, so the main aim of whether it was NACA approved or somebody slipped that section in or whatever it is, I conclude that It is an attempt to follow the path of the West. When you have to receive help in order to even do training, yes, see, he who pays the piper determines the tune as a day. Nti abosiabo anom ne ade a yanyire ye ho emma yentimi kwaye nimu a da bia gese ye kɔ baabi wutranye yi a ene ya ye de ani nso hwe China wan hwe a China for nso de on be kan say this must be your governance system. Abosiafo emra so se ye ma ye ni bre ma no a be say 700 of you a obi abie kwansa na ye mpa ye ne se mo ba yire mo ho Nanka ubia timi abo abrabo. Next time I'll talk about how people go from depending on somebody and bad bedroom ebinafe why na you say wanya wontimi ni dikura. So you constantly have to take care of people. Mempa ye ne say ebema mo afiri mu hiamu because somebody is trying to help you. He's not trying to come and take all your troubles over his head. Nti abusiafo help trying to be taking on secularism, humanism, and LGBT semni adena. Ade bi say yeshia even our politics say they match wrong me books mono. Why are we just following America, Democrats, Republicans, and then when you come to Ghana it's MPP and DC 4 years, America 4 years every election, Ghana 4 years every election. We seem to be copying without looking at our own circumstances. Let us separate European colonialism from European missionary activities. Nipa bebre wo ha, wo mu na so no pa. Wo se o broni na de buy. But yes, o broni na de buy, but the gospel has universal significance. Abrofo, but the me person otiase ne say, empe bebre binumo a create impression say, obroni no a de Bible buy no ono an obefa ye nkrofo edo omkọ America ma omkọ kosom ye. It's not true. Anya no kore. E wo say abrofo bi na buy ebefa ye nkrofo do omkọ som ye de. But when no Yankopon asem ka wa akoma no the records are there. In the 15th century, there was European exploration to Africa. Don Diego da Zambuja. He arrived in Gold Coast in 1482. 1482, and we nana kwamna ansa sede and I was strasase and I was building a castle, St. George da Mina, an important center for trade in gold, slaves, and palm oil along West Coast. That was probably not the first time into Africa. But by 1482, there was that contact here. In fact, walking Kenya, said, Don Diego de Azambujan ordered about 6 or so ships and a buy. And the Yaman of the basic castle were there. Or about 600 soldiers and 100 masons and carpenters. So within a few months, no more see Elmina Castle away. They were coming here for trade. Walking car history as anti-4 crowd as anti-4 a normal a call say you are dear Elmina, because that's where they were trading with Abrofono. And the slaves are through the wars no it was Elmina. So they built that castle. A 16th century and a fame transatlantic slave trade, and then the scramble for Africa started here. 15th century, 1482, and Don Diego da Zambuja a buy. Then twice in the 16th century, and enquire ye foul mokon. But Kai say, history tells us that AD 641, now Arabs if also by Africa befa enquire edomoko. I don't know what is the problem with us. But by 1502, Portugal began the slave trade by shifting slaves to its plantations in America, and other European nations followed. One more year, history says 350 years in fear ahasan duenum and omude edi say January the 10 to 11 million Africans and a core Americas 1 year wu kwan so ne kro ne ba de yenka. But please mama ya dwene yes that say sankrofo kro ya. The first evangelical wave in Africa began in 1700. Look, the contact was what? Dan Diogo da Zambuja was 1482. 1 year wamudi onyankopon asem baaye no started by 1700 actually. I don't want to waste time and go through the Reformation and Martin Luther de baaye 1517 to 1648. And then William Wilberforce, makano ho asem bebre wo menma metro no Kristo ni gidie ka kire ne se enye right say ye twe nipa senkoa edo mo pack one say sardine do mo call man foforo so. He was an independent member of the British Parliament. That is why for me, if independent people can stand and be voted into our parliament, they can make a difference. Between that NPP NDC rivalry no ama near maten bia na ye tan ede amayen, so that they can respond to their conscience rather than listening to the party whip. We need that. Wilberforce nigidie and a ma wodi private members bill e call ya presa kosi se samre na English abrochire na wodi wiase nyina so. And they abolished the slave trade, that it is inhuman. It was after all of these things, and a Christopher Mubi, a cow wakuma said, no, yan fast and panon sonko. Mamenka Methodist for Edia Kakrebi. The first Methodist missionary of Free Britain by a year 1835 till it was in Canada that Mesita Bena. Ifo no Don Diego da Zambuja by Oba 1482 Danwell Eba 1835. So you see the difference. 1482 1835 and a missionary no Eba Ede Onyankopon asem Eba Papa edru Ghana ha go kosu 1st January 1835 by 15 September 1836. Just about 1.5 years. And then tontom malaria ekumuno. Na chiri ana Reverend George Wigley and then a year by Reverend George Wigley a year and a started Wesley Girls High School. Say or ti school bia ye betimi atete e ma no a wo mu kunu no ya asofo no. And only Wesley Girls High School. So I want you to see 1482 Don Diego da Zambuja Babe Didra ama January and deal with slave trade. How many years? 300 and so years later. Then this missionary 1835 for the Methodists. 1482 1835. And he died 1.5 years later. And an wriggling so by or no son in a year and check no almost wuye and also for Reverend Peter Harrop on also by 15 January 1837. By the end of 1837, Nasa uncle for me and San Wamiri. Within 3 years, no more Wesley Methodist Church pulpit no a jinamuka Onyankopon asem no a asie na yesie sa ankrofo omo adankasa ewo to remind us say binom de omo nkwa eto ho de asempa no ebai ewo Cape Coast. So I want you to really know say when you do Onyankopon asem bai, and so when you are beginning to accuse us Christians of causing all the problems in Ghana, then what dia wotimema asempa ni gina wo go kosu ha eye Thomas Birch Freeman ono oba 1838 ono na oba asante ha ede asempa na ba no na kwaku di odi kan ka kire se wontena kusa na onye all the necessary investigations ehunu se oye no kwafo a odi asempa na eba because na santene abrofo no akon. So he stayed at Kusa. And sana Nana Kwakudia the first clear everything and our band to okoye ye the assistant officer a dan esi wono Nana Kwakudia the first building ye dey share sa or asante hene no animonyam adentina Betrima survival ye because enkwano ane free ye ja wo mo no omo ba ko na ware broni na wonne no wo freeman ti na bibini mo ja wo no mu ti wona na wotimi ma asempa no ejinaaye but abusuafo wo ba ye man mu a education and health enyina so ena se ne mfitiase enyina eye sankrofo we no Wamu ba no nya sempa no nkwa na onde ba de amu frase ne se yama nwumasuamba ye de ye tiri ye because one year baby din so I've written down in my notes, imagine Ghana or Africa without formal education. Ene ke be den ke bi ne se me gina American kind babro kinkan nwoma make all these references no ke wiase kono ye be den na ke yakobi ye de tiri yo Wani kura san babedin so no English abrocha na na sam no odi wiase so enti ne kasa no uko Europe uko America uko wiase ba bia English language men kasa chen kasa bia bada no na wiase nyina there's the one language which everybody wants to be able to speak and I dey be in fact abeye lingua franca so we have an advantage. I'm not saying colonialism, I'm not sitting here and praising colonialism. But let's look back. Now, advantages be brayenya. Now, don't let us follow those who have succeeded and are thinking that there is no God, there's no need for a Christianity. Women at the formal education by, women at the hospitals by, and you can't. Don't write something and say negative effects of Christian missionary activities. Usha Ghana ha all the first class second cycle schools in India missionary schools and one more a course schools no me bebre one na amo me akọ nanimu uko hospitals Sahara. Let me just give you quickly a few examples. Aburi girls any Presby boys Accra Presby schools first class schools Addis Adel any Cape Coast, any St. Monica's, Anglican Church, and at the buy. Archbishop Potter, say was second year, says to talk radio. Holy Child, St. Augustine's, St. Louis, St. Rose's, and quite no, St. Peter's, and I won't quite here. Opoku Ware. These are all Roman Catholic schools. Wesley Girls High School, Infansipim, Methodist Church, Prempe College. Otumfo Prempe and a country Methodist for say the moyen war and fancy pimuno among fancy for moment you are handsome. The Presbyterians also went to Ohene. No Ohene say Monko Kaka Methodist for no munsi school my so Prempe College is Manshia Methodist Presby a school first class school Wesley College. One more course synod one more taste as and panel as spread the was Santi ha and one more can say there. Let's go and build a training college. And we had Wesley College. How can we sit there and begin to someday you want to see a Chilean sana colonial administration okra Eddie Achimota Eba. Wesley Girls High School was founded by Harriet Wrigley in the year Methodist missionary in 1836. Wesley Girls High School did 187 years this year. And 187 years. One more motto they say, live pure, speak true, right wrong, follow the king. And I'm name baba din komo hono okoy and all catch them say Wesley Girls High School. You cannot say yen so here na obi see two apo. The girl would be son say on chira no be man in sasam and vigilator. I catch and say this girl is disturbing me. So when you go there, principles are here chen kwadano ene nyamesuro saa nneema we nyina na nke ye Ghana fo nyina ye follow a anke ye ko enim live pure, speak true, right wrong, nneema ekobone aka, follow the king. Mfansipim School was founded in 1876 as Wesleyan High School. Mensa Saba no obeka ho no omuti school no omka ne nyina bom ene ya two din Mfansipim. Wesley Girls High School, Mfansipim School. Imagine say this are the no nyina anyini church motor school. And these are missionary founded schools. Mfansipim di 147 years. Wesley Girls High School di 187 years. And sana 1924 and sana Dr. Quigley any Fraser ne Governor Gogisberg Achimota School ne fa baby bedane University of Ghana and Achimota Training College. Ebusanfo enyimaya ensemidin. Psalm 36 verse 9 Osei, in your light we see the light. And this is what guided Canadian scientists. Isaac Newton, he was a Christian. Archimedes was a Christian. Galileo and Okai was say, I don't think that the God who gave me the reason and the mind never intended that I don't use them to solve my problems. Don't picture Christosome say, we a Christian who use so and solve problems. So in order to be able to do science and solve your problem, you don't need to be a Christian. I am a Christian and I'm a scientist. And I don't see anything that will be better me. Say on konkron kura bie mani e wo niam bi ho e ma metimi eye nea esese me eye. The early scientists believe in God and glorify God by their findings. They did not reject God. Nti mama ye mfrase and nansane na me call me project bi ho na me fa kontase me duru kontase me hu no kontase girls STEM SHS STEM science technology engineering and maths SHS for girls. Good. Me hwe e motor o mo atwere ase integrity and expertise. Na me bi sam ho say yes, science, technology, engineering and maths can give that technical expertise. But how do you get integrity? How do you get integrity if you are rejecting God and you are not putting values of integrity? No kredie. Go to our educational system. Obra ye nyamsom ne saneama we nyina ye yi na kwa no and see the way a teacher for any ade eboa nkwara no ma omo ye de be ye nsohwe a wo mo ye de apo no mo nwia. You have thrown away integrity in our schools. And you are putting a write-up in a history book for our schools to learn that Christianity is the cause of the poverty. It's wicked, it's bad. And yet they say, whoever, how can you get integrity in a school that you are saying you are focusing on science, technology, engineering, and maths? And if that school never reads the Bible, there's no religion. That school has no values to let them know, say, it is wrong to go to an exam and cheat. It is wrong. Tisani Sami can say, a year or more, you only say here, but 50% home be Johnny and Omunfa, Emmy account to her. Then what have we do? Yanko back, Yankwada Emu, the Enfasa Neman and Shewum. There be me call Pokuwa headmaster na ekodi nkomo. No all can say Safo why they are also person the bed. Go back to the JHS or even the primary school. Adanya was say look, me wa hai e binom the results of ba when you aggregate 6. The best say and yet who busanu a chese who probu kakra bia o baby o frere teacher for na kire no. Debi mi shia kwada bi nam say was wo wie school nam say na nso ya say oh woni ahwa ya nso nom ye ni papa omo boa yen. So now the concept of nso is that we should cheat. Only the one who say you cheating kra. Wo abesi ho kwan ya wo man kwara no anya de be enwuamu no. Wo na wo ye nipa boanfo. Where is the integrity? Na say wo di we free kwara na say anya corruption and now dey but then you come and put into their history book, say Christianity is the cause of all our problems. And then the child grows up and says, "Men kwa sorry because I saw Bible no and all that kind of thing." Maybe you can talk about other religions, but in a country where 70% is saying they are Christians, then there must be a way by which we should use what is in the Bible to teach Yankwadano values and not to go ahead and say all these kinds of things. Daniel, Daniel, and Crawford no akache and says, I bear my way, dear Jumamuha. Say, and yen and yam suma or sumwa, wunya no emfa a debe, bibia and monoquedu. Can we say that in our system? Ewa Ghana. What went wrong with us? Ye pese afede ye nyamshro any ade ade free ho. Joseph oko Egypt on oko solve one de ben full security problem. Didn't he have integrity to be able to say to Sama Amenonia they said no, when I do that is wrong. There ba asem na aba ye this an me mpa ye ne say me no mi no nyina ye be ma saa nneɛma yɛ ahia yɛ wo yɛ awofo a ma saa nneɛma ahia mo kɔ PT a mo ne teacher for no nka ne yɛntimi nka nkyerɛ Ministry of Education sɛ policies a wɔde ba a ɛma yɛ nkwada ensua bibia enya nyamsɛm adeɛ bia they are not learning any values. Maybe even our culture or musua fine, but what are the values and what does the Bible say? 70% ekenka Bible deɛ man ye betimi de ahye yɛ nkwada m sɛ yes an nneɛma na ɛbɛ boa yɛn Mama and travel follow America
3.3
and some European countries and country who say pese and see tu anamonia ko yanim to send your moye no yen yam some enfri. Please don't let us do some of these things and share unyankopon ni munya Mr. Rade say omwae na sa ankomo aye die and mayen reflecting on yen aya brabo because en kwala no onye amayen kwara apa na ye ntwa sapa anto ha man kwada no a ye daache enesen efrem amodwumo o me ye to da bia ye hu a ye se ne ye national anthem wonum nsem a wo ka kire pesamin kumenya ne ade ye di abrabo mu dem ama ye man ho do atom se how can we get our children to have the right values so that they can develop the country when we are gone? Amen.